You're up. Did you have a bad dream? Yeah? Oh, come here. Want to tell me about the dream you had? No? That's okay. Hey, do you want to know what I learned about bad dreams? I heard that there's your brain trying to teach you something. I don't exactly know what, but I want you to learn something about yourself from scaring you. You know, it's a lot like when you play pretend, but scarier. It's okay. I'm sorry, that doesn't help, does it? Hey, wanna know what I'm doing up so late? I'm playing some video games that I used to play as a kid. Yeah. This one is called Super Smash. No, Mom's asleep. Keep your voice down. Let's not wake her up. You know, sometimes I can't sleep, so I play some video games for a while. And then I go to sleep. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. So, okay. This one is called Pikachu. He's fighting Mario right now. Do you remember Mario? We played Mario the other week. Okay, so the way this game works is you wanna push your opponent out of the stage. And then you can pick up these things too. And if you're being quick about it, you could throw it on them even. No, I died, but that's okay. Because you come back, look. Yeah, he's being very, very quick, Pikachu. I don't know, I don't think I can beat him. I used to be really good at this game, but I think I forgot how to do it. Oh well. Hey, do you want to try play? That's okay, we can hold the controller together. Okay, wait, let me just start a new match for you. Which character do you want to play? Or you want to be Mario? Yeah, that's cool. And we can play against Yoshi. Remember Yoshi? Okay. There we go. Okay, so that one, that's a jump. That one is a punch. You move around with this. It's called the control stick. And then these are shields. You use them if you think you're gonna get hit. Okay. Wanna try? That's good. It's great. Look. You're beating them. Kind of. Well, that's fine. Look, there you again. What's the matter? You don't want to play? Is it too hard? No, that's fine. It's really difficult to get used to these weird controllers and these games. Maybe you'll play a lot more when you grow up. Don't you think it's time for you to get back to bed? No? Well, I think so. Come here. Listen, I'll carry you, okay? Don't worry, sweetheart. I'm tired too. I'll read your bed story and then we can both go to bed. Okay, you ready? Like that. Yeah, it's fine. You all good? You all snug and comfy? I'll go grab a story for you. Oh, I know. You like Little Red Riding Hood, don't you? Okay, I'll go grab it. Stay where you are. Okay, I found it. Remember this, Little Red Riding Hood? You used to love this one before, I'm sure you still do. Let me just, let me find my telling a story voice for you. Let's see here. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all, by her grandmother. There was nothing she would not have given to the child. Once, she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So, she was always called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother said to her, "Come, Little Red Riding Hood, here's a piece of cake and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. She's ill and weak, and they will do her good. Set out before it gets hot, and when you are going, walk nicely and quietly. Do not run off the path, or you may fall and break the bottle, and then your grandmother will get nothing. And when you go in her room, don't forget to say good morning, and don't peep into every corner before you do it." Yeah, do you see the pictures? Yeah, that's her and that's the mother. And that's, yeah, exactly. That's the bread and that's the wine. "I will take great care," said Little Red Riding Hood to her mother, and gave her a hand on it. The grandmother lived out in the wood, half a league from the village. And just as Little Red Riding Hood entered the wood, a wolf met her. Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked creature was, and was not at all afraid of him. Yeah, look. No, I'll show you. Yeah, that's the wolf. Think it looks scary? You don't? Well, that's cool. Yeah, neither does Little Red Riding Hood. "Good day, Little Red Riding Hood," said he. "Thank you kindly, wolf." "Whither away so early, Little Red Riding Hood?" "To my grandmother's." "What have you got in your apron?" "Cake and wine. Yesterday was baking day, so poor sick old grandmother is to have something good to make her stronger." "Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?" "A good quarter of a league farther on in the wood. Her house stands under 3 large oak trees. The nut trees are just below. Surely you must know it," replied Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf thought to himself, "What a tender young creature. What a nice plump mouthful. She will be better to eat than the old woman. I must act craftily so as to catch both." So he walked for a short time by the side of Little Red Riding Hood, and then he said, See, Little Red Riding Hood, how pretty the flowers are about here. Why do you not look round? I believe, too, that you do not hear how sweetly the little birds are singing. You walk gravely, as if you were going to school, while everything else out here in the wood is merry. So Little Red Riding Hood raised her eyes. Then she saw the sunbeams dancing here and there through the trees, and pretty flowers growing everywhere. She thought, suppose I take Grandmother a fresh nosegay. That would please her too. It is so early in the day, and I shall still get there in good time. And so she ran from the path into the wood to look for flowers, and whenever she had picked one, he fancied that she saw a still prettier one further on, and ran after it, and so got deeper and deeper into the wood. Yeah, look, there she is, just picking the flowers. And the wolf is looking very wicked, don't you think? Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked at the door. Who's there? Little Red Riding Hood, replied the wolf. She's bringing cake and wine. Open the door. Lift the hatch, called out the grandmother. I am too weak and cannot get up. The wolf lifted the hatch, the door sprang open, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and devoured her. And then he put on her clothes, dressed himself in her cap, laid himself in bed and drew the curtains. Yeah, that part is a bit frightening, isn't it? Do you remember how it ends? You don't? Okay. Don't worry, it will be fine. That'll be fine. Okay, remember this? I think you do. Little Red Riding Hood, however, had been running about picking flowers, and when she had gathered so many that she could not carry more, she remembered her grandmother and set out on the way to her. She was surprised to find the cottage door standing open, and when she went into the room, she had such a strange feeling that she said to herself, "Oh dear, how uneasy I feel today. And at any other time, I feel like being with grandmother so much." There he is. That's the wolf. The wolf in grandmother's clothes. But no. It's okay. Do you remember that they get out? I won't tell you how, but it will be fine. A wolf would eat you? No. Listen, wolves are way more afraid of you than you are of them. They're not gonna hurt you. Besides, there are barely any wolves in Sweden. Just a couple. A couple of hundreds, yeah. So anyway, she called out, "Good morning," but received no answer. So she went to the bed, drew back the curtains. There lay her grandmother with her cap pulled far over her face, looking very strange. "Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my child," was the reply. "But grandmother, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear." "But grandmother, what large hands you have." "The better to hug you with." "Oh, but grandmother, what a terribly big mouth you have. The better to eat you with." And scarcely had the wolf said this, than with one bound he was out of bed and swallowed up Little Red Riding Hood. When the wolf had appeased his appetite, he lay down again in the bed, fell asleep, and began to snore very loud. The huntsman, remember him? Was just passing by the house and thought to himself, how the old woman is snoring. I must see if she wants anything. So he went into the room. When he came to the bed, he saw the wolf was lying on it. "Do I find you here, you old sinner?" said he. "I have long sought you." Then, just as he was going to fire at him, it occurred to him that the wolf might have devoured the grandmother, and that she might still be saved. So he did not fire, but took a pair of scissors and began to cut open the stomach of the sleeping wolf. Oh, okay. Yeah, they actually, they do that. They kept it in the book. It's disgusting. Don't worry, it's just a fairy tale. I forgot about this part, I'm sorry. When he had made 2 snips, he saw the little Red Riding Hood shining. And then he made 2 snips more. The little girl sprang out crying, "Oh, how frightened I have been! How dark it was inside the wolf." And after that, the aged grandmother came out, alive also, but scarcely able to breathe. Little Red Riding Hood, however, quickly fetched great stones, with they filled the wolf's belly. And when he awoke, he wanted to run away. The stones were so heavy that he collapsed and fell dead. Yeah, look how happy they are. And yeah, that's the wolf. He's dead. You can't hurt them anymore. Then all 3 were delighted. The huntsman drew off the wolf's skin and went home with it. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine which Little Red Riding Hood had brought, and revived. But Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, "As long as I live, I will never by myself leave the path to run into the wood when my mother has forbidden me to do so." Yeah, that's Little Red Riding Hood. Was it scarier than you remember? Yeah, I think this is the other version. We have 2. Okay, sweetheart, you know what? It's time for you to snuggle up and go to sleep, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow. And don't tell mommy that I was up late. She'll give me a hard time. Okay? Yeah, love you very much too.